Well, very warm welcome to everyone. My name is Mark and I'm back at Chess.com to reach 600 elo. Basically I had a stream before where I was playing for 2 hours and I did go up and did go down, and now I'm gonna try and reach 600 elo. The point is I played for 2 hours 1 day or 2 days ago, but I ended up where I started to stream, so I'm currently back at 539 elo, and I'm gonna aim to reach maybe 600 elo tonight's stream. So I'm gonna ask you for 1 second of patience to open up my own stream to let me see the chat. Oh, hello Testa. I'm happy to see you here already. It's good to see you here. So yeah, I'm gonna start a new game and trying to go for 600 elo. So yeah, it's the same start as yesterday, but I'm hoping that my brain will function way much better than did before. What's up, Testa? Your day is going cool? Because I know today is still going in Brazil. Now we traded queens and a pawn, and it's gonna be a juicy game, I think. I'm going against Ivest Hames. He's from France. He's at 522 elo. He's playing with the white pieces, so I'm gonna try and beat him in this game. So maybe I'm thinking about to move out my black bishop to give him a check, but most likely he will move out his bishop or his knight over here. But now he put it out knight over here to put some pressure over my pawn, but I'm gonna defend it by another pawn, so most likely he will not go for my pawn with that knight. Now it's 6 p.m. It's a little bit better. It's gonna be midnight here in 70 minutes, so. It was cool. I went to sleep at 2 a.m. to wake up a little bit earlier, but my cat always came for me when I was woken up. So once I could have been woke up at 8 a.m. but my cat came and I fall back to sleep. I woke up at 10 a.m. and I was like, okay, I get to 8 hours sleep. I should woke up, but my cat came again and I was sleeping till uh, 12 a.m. and 30, I think was around that. So I sleep a little bit more than I planned, so I was sleeping like 10 hours. And after that my brother and father came to me because they needed some electrical stuff, because my brother is doing his working room, and I had to equipment in here in my house, so they came and we talked a little bit. I made some sweets and offered them some. So that was the beginning of today, and into the rest I played a game with my friends. I don't know what's the name of it. I will try to look it up, but Bep. We played some Bep, and that was basically today. Today was international, not international. In my country there was a holiday, but I don't have a job currency, so it wasn't a big thing. Only the stores and everything was closed, so basically everyone was resting. So yeah, now he took one of my pawns that was resting here and was undefended. Now he's leading with a pawn, and he can go here with his knight to give me a fork for my rook and for my king. So I'm gonna put my knight over here, so this will defend to bishop 2, or not really. And now I need to plan what I'm gonna do. Now he get an extra free knight because I didn't really pay any direct attention. But if I'm going here, I can defend that fork situation, but he's gonna get away with his bishop sadly, so I cannot get his bishop. So I lost my fork knight for nothing. But now I can move my bishop over here, so he will most likely not move his knight because his bishop is currently undefended. So now I'm gonna move my rook over there. He will maybe move his pawn over here to defend the bishop, so I will not take his bishop because it wouldn't really worth it yet. Or move back his bishop by a square. That's cute too. I was thinking to move my rook over there to get more control of that board over here, but I cannot because it's currently defended by the bishop, and I cannot take the knight because the bishop is defending it. But maybe I'm planning to move out my knight over here, but he will be maybe going for it with his knight. So there, yeah, there is some transaction going through. And he can also go for my black bishop with his rook, but I can defend my pawn. And he is now pushing with his bishop because it's no longer defending the knight that was here. And I get pinged by the bishop, or checked. So I'm gonna go with my king away. Now I need to be aware of it that the white bishop is undefended. And now he's pushing again with his white bishop, so if he manage up his white bishop over here, my white bishop will be pinged, or I can take his white bishop if it's coming there, but it's currently not, that's not the situation. And if he's moving with his black bishop, I can take a free pawn, so that will be cool. So I'm waiting for his move, what it will be. Or I can also move my rook over there, and the bishop will be in a little bit of danger, but in response he can move back his black bishop or move forward a pawn, so it will secure the bishop and also put some pressure over the rook if I move it there, but that didn't happen. Now I can give him a check by to black bishop, and he can only go in by a square or move forward his rook over there. So these are the two options for him. If I just move my rook over there, he can move forward by his pawn by a square. So for now I will just move with my black bishop, or I cannot really because the rook is pinging my king. So the bishop needs to stay here, but I can take the pawn with my rook. And now he is most likely moving that pawn, yeah. I cannot move my rook over there to put some pressure over this bishop because the knight would take my rook, and I cannot go for the bishop because the pawn is defending it. If I move my rook here, I don't get anything from it, so for now I will move my rook over there, because if I can move my other rook over there, I can take a pawn from there. And maybe I can work up something. Currently it's, this rook is the only dangerous thing over here, because I cannot move my bishop because of this rook over here. And now I can move back my rook a little bit because the pawn is currently putting some pressure over it. So if I move it back, he will most likely move with his bishop over here. And I should have been take that pawn with my bishop. I didn't really see that opportunity, but anyways, I'm gonna go back now for this square to put some pressure over to bishop. Maybe he can go forward by a square, but I can take with my pawn, so that's not a problem. He can also go here, but in the next round I will move my rook over there, and that will be cool for me, because he, in that case, I could have been get his bishop, but that didn't happen. He moved back his bishop over here. Maybe he's planning to move his bishop over here to ping to bishop. But for first, he will need to defend that bishop position by his pawn. But that's currently not the situation. And yeah. So now maybe I will move forward this pawn, and in the next round I will move forward this one to leave this square defended against the bishop. So these pawns will secure that area of the board. And I can move on to plan out something. He's currently leading with a knight, so I need to come back with the pieces, and he's also leading a little bit on time. So yeah, maybe he thought I will go for a bait to take the pawn, but now if I move forward that pawn forward by 2 squares, he can take that pawn by his pawn. In response, I will take that pawn, but in the next round he can take that pawn with his bishop, so I would only lose 2 pawns, and that's not really a good deal. And I cannot move my king over there because the bishop is securing that position. Maybe if I move my king over here, I can move with my black bishop to do a check maybe. I will plan out what to do. But I will get a little bit more breathing space, and also I need to be aware of it. If I move with this bishop, the rook can break in a little bit, but the pawn luckily is still securing that position, and also the rook. But if I will move out the rook from this square, I need to be careful what to do. So yeah, that's what I'm planning. And he's also moving his rook out there, maybe planning to break out here, or just move his rook over here so he can get a free bishop if he's coming out. But that's currently not the case. Maybe if I move my bishop over here, he will go for it with his knight, so that's not really cool. So if he comes here, he can get a free bishop and also give me a check, and I cannot longer deliver him a check because the rook would take my bishop. If I move my bishop over here, he would take with his bishop. For now I will just move this pawn over here. Maybe he will move forward his pawn too, and we will encounter a little bit of problem. And as I said, he's coming here for the bishop, but I can come back a little bit and secure the pawn and also the square where he could give me a check by his rook. My elo is currently 539 elo, and yeah, that's currently good for me, I think. Yesterday when I started to stream, it was 540, so I'm behind of 1 point from not really yesterday, before that when I streamed. So I didn't really go forward, but maybe in this match I will win it and I will be cool. Now I need to be careful, because if he's moving his white bishop, most likely here, I will get a check. And that's not really cool, because after that he can take my bishop or make a transaction for the white bishop. But if I move my king over there, he cannot give me checks. And I can also still secure the bishop over here. In the next round I will try to move forward my pawn up by a square to put some pressure over the black bishop. If he moves here, I can work up a transaction for the black bishops, but I don't really want to lose my black bishop currently, because he's leading with 2 pieces. He can also go here, but that would mean that my rook would be in danger, and currently my opponent had some internet troubles. He almost got disconnected, but he's back. So I'm waiting for his move, and I need to be careful of the time, because he's leading a little bit more than he should. Now I can make some transactions over here with the pawns, and I'm gonna do it because I don't really have much time to think. Now maybe I will move back my black bishop over here to put some pressure over, or not really, because the white bishop is coming over here. Yeah. Yeah, so if he's moving now his black bishop, I get another check, I will lose my bishop, and I was leading my king into the wrong direction, so I will most likely lose this game, sadly. But things happen. And yeah, if he's moving here his rook, that will be a checkmate, because I cannot take this rook because the bishop is securing, and he did that. So I'm gonna start a new game. That was sadly a lost game, so now I'm currently at 531 elo. But I'm hoping the next game will be better, and it will be better because I will focus more. So and now he opened up with his pawn, that leaving the queen and the bishop coming out. So for now I will just let out my knight over here. So if he wants to come here with his queen, it's not possible, because I can take with my knight. Yeah, and this guy is from Brazil too. As in the last stream, I had many opponents from Brazil, and it seems like there is another Brazilian guy. He's Francisco 431. He's at 521 elo, and he's playing with 2 black pieces, and he's from Brazil. It's good to see that you recognize every time if I'm playing against a Brazilian guy. So. So now he opened up with his black bishop after coming back. Maybe he want to put some pressure over to pawn, or not really, because I was putting my pawn over there, so his bishop was in danger, so he put it back into the safe position. Now I will try to open up with my other pawn, so if I can take out, I can put more pressure over his bishop, and he will eventually come back, but that not really happened. Now his only option to save his bishop to go back by square, and he did that. And now he's also really defended his king over here. But if I can go here with my queen, that will be a checkmate, or not really, because there is a knight over here. So I didn't really ever think about where is my opponent from. Sometimes I'm just checking out where is my opponent from, but it's cool that you trying to guess. So now I lost my pawn from over there, and now he's also having an open field for his queen, but his black bishop is basically trapped over here. So maybe I can lead a little bit with the black squares. But now his queen can come out here and give me a check. But I can put my bishop over here and also get more further to get out my bishop and get more control of the board over here. Now he put it out one of his knights over here. Maybe to get one of the pawns, not really, because I will get with my other pawn. If he moves into these squares, I would get his knight. It's true that now if I cannot move my bishop over there to put some pressure over his queen, but into first place he could move out his pawn over here. yeah. But to Hungarian flag is sometimes is similar with the Indian ones in my monitor, because it's a little bit to screen colors are messy. Not really Indian, but there was some other flags that was very similar for to Hungarian, and I never saw a Hungarian opponent against me. So I was happy that I'm seeing a Hungarian opponent, but it was some other countries. So yeah. Now I also get it why you are saying if you see someone from Brazil, because I never saw anyone from Hungary. So now maybe I'm thinking about breaking somehow. I need to get rid of the knight over here. And I'm also gonna let out my white bishop over here to get more control of the board here. And now I can make a trade for the bishop, or waiting until he's getting my white bishop, because I can get it with my knight. But for now, maybe I'm gonna take that pawn over here, because it's a little bit messy over here, so I need to go and break through. And also I'm gonna get the white bishop now, because I didn't have any plan with it. Okay, take your time. And now it's I can move with my black bishop without any danger. But for now I will maybe move out here with my queen. So in the next round I could have been moved here, but for first I will need to get rid of this knight over here. So maybe I will move out my black bishop over here, but if I move here, that doesn't really solve any kind of problems. And now he is putting some situation over here, or I can go for his queen. I will take the queen for now, because he worked really up himself here. And also I'm gonna turn on to ventilator after this match, because it's pretty hot inside right now. And now I will lose a fork, sadly. Now he moved forward by his knight, but it's currently nothing dangerous for me here. I can move here to... Oh, he moved his knight because my knight is now undefended and he can take with the bishop, but for now I will just move here to save my knight from the danger. So now he moved back with his knight again. He can make some trade for the other knight, for my knight, but I don't really planning to do that. And now if I move my knight over here, he can take with his knight, so that's not really a good deal. So for now I will move my pawn over here to make him take my pawn with his pawn. In response I will not take that pawn. Anyways, I will need some replanning. I can take that bishop with my knight, but I don't have many pieces. Now he's maybe planning to move with his rook over there. But I can save my black bishop by moving here. And I can also maybe work up some transactions over here. And Mike had woken up. And now I can get a pawn luckily. And if I can move my knight again in this position, I will get a fork, but most likely he will move one of his rooks, so I cannot really finish that deal. Now I can put some pressure over his other rook. Maybe he wants to go for a pawn over there. Okay. Currently I'm in a little bit of dangerous situation here because he is here with two of his rooks. And now I will not lose my rook, because if he would have been moved here, I could have been get his rook, but if he moves here with that rook, I should have been moved up here to take his rook, but in response he would take my rook. So I would lose my last rook, but now if I cannot move here to put some danger on the rooks. Yeah, now I'm gonna lose my rook most likely. Yeah, this game is most likely lost too. And now he's finishing my pawns. I can give him a check now, but he will come here. And I cannot give him another check because the pawns is defending that square. And I also blocked my pawn position where it could have been go. Now I will move here, so he will most likely not take this pawn by his rook. And I thought he will do that, but now I can go here and I will still defend that pawn, and he cannot take with his rook. Now he's going for the other pawn, and now I also can't even get out with my knight over here. And I still cannot do anything. My only chance is a stalemate by now. So if it's become queen, it will secure this position. The fork is defending that positions. So these, the queen is defending that. The king is defending that position. Still not good. So now if it becomes a queen, it defends these squares. Still not good. And now it's most likely screwed. And I lost because of timeout, but anyways I would have been lost because into the next move he would have me move his queen here and giving a checkmate. Now I'm at 523 elo. I'm gonna go and try for the 600. I will need to come up with some plans. I will need to use big brain that I have here and think out something. Now I'm playing against Puto Calvo Cabron. Puto, not Puto. Puto Calvo Cabron, and he is from Catalonia. Yeah, we can play a match. Sorry, I already started another one, but after this we can play a match. Maybe it will freshen up my thinking. So now his pawn get here. He opened up with the pawn that's forward of the queen. He's currently at I don't really think so this match will be long, because I was speaking about I will start to use my brain, but that didn't really succeed to happen. But luckily at least he screwed his bishop away, so I will need to get back to queen if I want to win this game. And also I need to be aware of it that I also lose to 3 pawn, and that's not really cool. And now, as I see, the focus is a little bit screwed, so I'm trying to have it. Now that pawn is defended by the knight over here, so that's cool. And I cannot do anything with my bishop currently, except if I will defend this pawn by another pawn too, so if I move my knight, that doesn't cause any kind of problems. Now he castled 2, so if I move here, it's nothing. But I'm thinking what to do. Maybe I will move back by a square with my king over here. So if I move my rook over there, that pawn cannot move. So if I move my white bishop here, I can take to knight over there. Now he's going for this square by a bishop, by a knight, and by a queen, and it's currently only the knight and the pawn is defending that square. Maybe I will move my white bishop here too, because currently I need to get rid of the knight or something to get the queen with my bishop, but it cannot really happen. So now he moved with his rook over there. And my cat is really want to get onto the table. So maybe if I move my knight over here, it's not really cool. Maybe if I move my rook over there. First he will need to take that pawn by anything. That knight is used, so I will need to move it to the other knight. Maybe I can work up something with it, and also I can move out my other rook too, so if that square is gonna be taken, I can work up something. Now that square is in danger because of this pawn, because of this knight, because of this bishop, because of this queen. And I defended by a pawn, by a bishop, by a knight. So it's 3 against 4, I think. So the pawn, the knight, the bishop, and the queen. And yeah, I have 3 pieces that defending that square. But if I'm going to be offensive and if I move here, he can take with his knight. I can take the knight with my knight, but in the next round he can take it with his rook, so that's not really a good. So for now I will just move my other rook over there to put more security over this square. And I'm also gonna wait for his move, what it will be. Yeah, that was in my head. If he moves his pawn over here, my knight will be in danger. But now I can also move my knight over here, and if he's taking with his knight, I can take with my pawn. And in the next round he will maybe take my bishop with his bishop, and I will totally lose the bishop because it's undefended. but into next end I can trade fork for his queen, but still he will have one more fork than I do. So or if I move here, I'm not gonna lose my bishop because it will be still remain defended by this pawn. So I can work up something. Um, I don't really know how to answer it. To economy is not really the best. I don't even get into the political situation over here. Uh, uh, there are some parts that I love in Hungary, but there are many that change my view on it. Uh, I'm gonna play this match and after I can answer it because it's a little bit more complex. And I need to think about that too, how to answer this question. So now he moved out one of his pawn, putting some pressure over my knight that I don't really want to lose. I can move here with my knight, but into next round he could move here with his knight. If I move my knight over here, he will get my knight again with the pawn. That's not really cool. Mm, maybe for now I will just move my knight back, or not really because the pawn would get it. So this is the only place where I lose my knight, but at least get a pawn, and to king it will be moved and not to fork, or not to rook or to king, knight. So it will not change the statistics over the board here. So I will move my knight over here to don't be a sacrifice that was going for nothing. So he took my knight with his king. Now if I move my bishop over here, I can give him a check, but he will get it with his rook, and that's not really cool. And yeah, but if I move my knight over here and into next and I move it here, he can go for it with his knight, but in response I would get it with my pawn and also open up this place and make some trades for the queen. But the bishop is again here and would take my bishop. So now maybe I will just trade my knight for his white bishop and go on. Now he's pushing forward with one of his pawns. So now I defend these squares with that knight. If I move here, I can defend these squares, but if I go here, he would get it with his pawn or with his queen. So for now, I will just take that bishop. I'm gonna, yeah, of course, he takes the pawn. With the bishop, my pawn. With the pawn, knight, bishop, I can't speak. So yeah. So in Hungary, it's many places that you can like and you can not. I'm natural with it, so I don't really like it. I don't even hate it because it's my land, of course, but there are some things that need to be changed, maybe, or not really. I'm not really sure if in my generation if I have the same problem with the people, but Hungarians love to be hateful sometimes. So yeah, and it's a little bit different to countryside from the capital. So the capital almost a different word than to countryside. So yeah. Now I can move my bishop over here to give him a check, and he can take my bishop with his rook, because he cannot take with his king because my pawn is securing that position, or he can go to somewhere else, and I'm hoping he will, not really hoping in that, I'm hoping that he will take with his rook. So into next round I can take the rook with my pawn, and I can take his queen also because the path is opened up if everything works out. So now I'm gonna just give him a check by my bishop. And yeah, now he's blocking the view of the rook over there. Hmm. I can go here to take one of the knights if it's possible. Again, I don't have many time left to work up a checkmate. If I can move my white bishop over here, I can move forward by my pawn, but into next round he can get my bishop because the only thing that defending is the pawn there. And now he's moved with his knight, so it's not really cool. But I can... I will move here with my bishop, so I will ping this knight over here, so into next round I can move here with my rook and at least get a pawn. Oh, and yeah, just also, do you mind if I call you Roberto? Because I saw in your chess.com name that it's Roberto in it. So I assume your name is Roberto, if you don't mind. If you call you like that. I can no longer get that pawn because the pawn moved forward. So I can't even move my rook over there because the knight is over there. And he can also give me a fork over there by his knight. You always choose bad names. Your name is not Roberto. Okay, now I can give him a check by this. Most likely I lost this game too because I have only 5 seconds left to give a check. And I lost because timeout. I would have been moved my rook over there. So he would be in check, and this position would be a no-no for him, and also this because the pawn is defending. Couldn't he could have been moved to 3 squares, so yeah, I would have been lose this game by any chance. Roberto Prevost is to Pope. Oh, I'm a little bit uneducated, so that's why I didn't know. Oh, I get it. So, okay. So I'm playing against the false Robert Prevost. I'm playing with 2 white pieces, and I'm gonna open up. The false Robert Prevost is at 622. And now I'm waiting for his move. My pawn is defended by another pawn. It's true that he can take my pawn with his pawn and also with the knight, but now he's putting more pressure over here with his knight. I will move down my queen by a square to still defend my pawn over there. Now he moved out one of his black bishop, but it's nothing dangerous yet. But he will most likely want to move in this line. But all of them would be a sacrifice for him, so I will just not pushing my pawn yet. I will just secure that pawn by another pawn. I can't also move back my queen to move into this square, so he would lose a rook. He castled. So I can't even cook with the bishop to move here, and it will secure that position to go up with my queen because the knight is securing. But if I work up my knight, maybe that will help. Now I'm getting checked by a rook. I lost my queen. Luckily my bishops are defended from 2 rook to move here and take some of the bishops. Because my knight is currently defending over here, he can't even move down because the bishop to pawn and to king is defending that square. So for now I'm at least cool. but he moved back with his rook. But now I will just move with my king over here, so if I can back up with my king, I can come up with my white bishop over here. So if I come up with my white bishop over here and I can move my knight over here into Nux, and I can move here with my knight, but that wouldn't be anything, so he would don't take my knight but would move with his queen, because the queens but are not really blocked. But I can move my black bishop over here, and that would mean that not anymore, because he moved his white bishop, so he can move with his queen into other round. Or he can do that also. So now I'm getting a check by the knight, and I can also go into these squares, but luckily I can go and back up with my king. And I'm also losing my knight. No. Because I left. Not really, because the pawn is securing, so that's cool. But he can take that knight or the other knight because it's opened. But I can also get the bishop if he does that. He's keep pushing with his knight. Now he can get my black bishop if he wants to. And I can go in these squares. If I move here, he can't give me another check by his knight. So for now I'm gonna, or not really, because I don't really want to get back here and give me a check by somehow if he takes with his knight, and I take it with my pawn. After that he can take with his rook. It will give me a check again, so that's not really cool. So, or I can take his knight and also give him a check by my white bishop. That was cool to have. And now if I move my white bishop over here, he can move with his rook, so there is no point. But if somehow I'm getting rid of the white bishop, I can come here and put some pressure over this rook too. And I'm also gonna come out with my rook over here. And now I will come out with one of my knights to secure the rook by the other rook, and I also have an open field for my knight. Now he moved forward by one of his pawns. If I move here, I will block my bishop, but his bishop is blocked, will be blocked too. And I'm gonna do that because if in the next round I will come here, he will lose his bishop by every move that he can do, except if he's moving his queen over here. Now he pushed forward by his queen. Hmm. If I move forward by my pawn and move my bishop over here, I can put some pressure over his queen, but he can take my bishop, but I will take with my pawn, so he will most likely just move in. He can move into these squares, and also he can move into these. So, yep. For now, I will just move forward with my knight over here because I don't see any kind of danger yet. But if I can move my knight here into the next round, that would be a juicy fork situation. So I would get a rook for my knight. But no longer because he moved one of his rooks. But luckily it's no more danger that the rook breaks in here. So now I can get to a black bishop over here. Or I cannot because the queen is over there. Maybe for now I will just move this pawn to move my knight over here. Into next round I can get a pawn and also put some pressure over to queen. And my defense is still up over here of the board onto the right corner. Now to rook is back and putting some pressure over here. But now I'm changing my plan and go over here with my knight again, so the fork situation is up again. And I don't even, yeah, I wanted to do this to put some pressure over to queen. But now if I'm going here, I can take the rook over there. But in the next one, the rook can go over to place. And if I take the rook by the pawn, the queen can come here and give me a check again. I can block it with the bishop. The question is which rook should go. But maybe this, because that's have more technical advantage over here. Yeah, and he took his queen over there, but I will block it with my white bishop. And now I'm putting back my knight because I can defend that square by the knight 2. Or into next hand I can go here and he will be forced to move with his rook again. And if he's going here, my pawn can defend it. Even if he's moving here, I can move here. Or not here, there. And I can give a check for his king. Yeah, now one of my pawns in danger. But I could have been solved this problem by moving my pawn over here. That would defend it to knight and to other pawn too. And if he takes the pawn, it's defended by the bishop. But currently the queen is over there, and that's not really lucky. But in respawn now, I'm gonna put my other rook over there. So his queen is in danger right now. So he will move somewhere with his queen. The rook is defended currently by the other rook and the bishop. Or he can do that and get one of my pawns, sadly. And now he can get one of my bishops, or not really, because I can go here with my knight to defend my king. I almost screwed it up. But luckily my knight was there, so I could block the rook wave. Yeah, now he did what I was thinking about. And now I'm gonna move here. So my bishop is still defended by the king. In the next round I can go here with my bishop. So his queen will be forced to move somewhere else. And I cannot really take the queen over there because there are some issues because of the pawn. If I move here, I can still defend that square because currently I'm waiting for to attack from the rook and the queen. But the pawns can handle this, so for now I will just go back with my king over here. Now I cannot. I can no longer get the bishop, but I can move my white bishop over here to put some pressure over to queen. Now he moved back with his queen, and now I can get his rook with my bishop. So that's lovely. Into next one, maybe I will move here with my knight. So I will put some pressure over his bishop, and he will lose his bishop by any chance, except if he's moving here with his queen. Or not really. Yeah, it would save his bishop if he moves here with his queen, because I can move here with my knight if he does that. Now he made a move with the pawn, but luckily I can get his bishop now. And I'm also searching for my water. Now one of my rooks in danger, and also my white bishop. But if I move here, I save every piece that are in danger. Or if I move here into next one, he can move his pawn over here. In response, I would move my white bishop to somewhere else. Maybe I would move it here to put more pressure over the queen. So I'm gonna do it now. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Now if I move here, he can move his queen over here, giving me a check again. But if I move here, and if he goes here, I can take with my bishop, so that's cool. Yeah, I didn't expect that outcome. Now he moved back with his queen to put some pressure over my knight, but luckily I can move my knight over here to take his bishop. Now I can give him a check. Now I'm gonna move here with my knight. And a little bit I fucked up, because if he moves here with his queen, he can give me a check. In correspond I can move here with my king. Or I can move back here with my knight. I can give him a check again if I move my bishop over here, and it could have been take my rook, so it's lucky that I didn't solve this earlier, so I was instantly would hop on this opportunity to move my bishop over there to give him a check again, but in response he would take my rook by his king or with his queen, so that's not really lucky. Now he moved back with his queen a little bit. Now I'm gonna move my rook over there to defend that position from the queen, so now I can move my knight over here to get this pawn. Now he moved forward by his pawn over there to maybe put some pressure over to bishop over here, but I'm gonna move my bishop over here and even put some pressure over the queen here. And also I'm gonna look for another music, because I'm getting a little bit sleepy from this music that's going on. Now he moved with his queen. I need to be aware of it. If he moves with his pawn forward by a square, I will be checked, so I will be forced to move back my bishop. But now I'm gonna if I move this pawn into next round, he can go here, give me a check again. But if I move my king over here, I wouldn't even need these pawns, so now he can only give me a check by moving his queen over here, or moving his pawn forward to put some pressure over to bishop. And I don't like even this music, so I'm gonna still looking for something else. Yeah, now he moved forward with this pawn. I can move my bishop over here to put some pressure over to queen, because the bishop is currently defended by the rook, so it's cool. Now I'm waiting what his move will be. And I cannot no longer move forward with my knight over here. So maybe I'm gonna move forward with my king. So if I move here, I can move here with, I can no longer move here with my rook because the queen is defending that position. But and these squares are blocked by the queen. If I move here with my pawn, maybe he gets that pawn with his pawn, but I could get it with my bishop. Or with my knight, so if I go here, he takes my pawn with his pawn. In next round I can go here with my knight, and I could also move. If I move here with my knight, I can go here with my rook. So his only option will be to go here. And to next round I would move here with my bishop. Because into next round I could move my rook over there. So yeah, I'm gonna go and do what I'm planning. So now he's forced to move here, but I can come here with my rook. Or I'm gonna go and do this. I can not even go here because he will get it with his queen. So I will need to go here, and it's not really cool. I'm gonna go here for now. So into next round, if I go here with my rook, on to next of the round, I can go here with my rook, and that will be a checkmate. Or I can do this now because he was going for my one of my pawns, and after that he can go for my bishop. But now it's luckily a checkmate. GG. That was. Oh, I had to use my brain, so that was a cool match. Thank you. I had to build up everything. I like to play with you because of that, because even that we playing 15 minutes game, so I'm not really worried about of the time, but I'm planning up something and you always came and screw it a little bit, so it was a pleasant to play. GG my guy. So now I'm gonna hop on back on a little bit easier place. You don't know why you sacrifice your rook out of the blue. Yeah, things like this happen, so I'm gonna try to look back where it happened. So here you had all of two rooks. Still have it there. Yeah, here, somewhere here you lost your rook. Oh yeah, there was the fork situation, and you would have been lose any of your rooks, and you could have been. Well, kinda, it was a good idea to go here because there you could build up your queen to do any kind of damage. So it wasn't. Uh, it was a sacrifice into end, but it was a good idea to do, I think, because it wasn't really a mistake like I usually do to sacrifice my rook and queen for basically nothing. Like into the last game, when I was in a rapid game, I just went out with my queen and the bishop got it. So and that was at the opening, so I think it was okay to do. But yeah, it was a cool game. Thank you. I'm gonna get back to rapid games because now I'm at 550 elo and I started at 539. So I'm down with 24 points. So I don't want to get back to 400 elo. So I need to think what to do. Okay, take your time. So now he opened up with his pawn that go from forward of the king. So now I'm gonna open up with my queen. It's currently safe to go out now to take that pawn, but no longer because the knight can defend that position. But I can also get out my bishop over here. So if he doesn't block with his pawn like here or the pawn here, I could get a checkmate, but most likely he will block it like this. Now I'm gonna get back a little bit with my queen over here. So my checkmate is still standing, except if he's coming out with his pawn over here. So it would block my checkmate thingy, except if he can move here and he can move here with the pawn or with the knight, but he didn't really do that, so I think that's checkmate. Checkmate in 5 move. That was lovely because that's one less game to do. So now I'm playing against Parsa Shemiran. He's from Iran and he's playing with the white pieces. And I'm playing with the black pieces. I'm gonna open up with one of my pawns to let out my black bishop over here. Because he seems a little bit offensive here because the queen can come out. And also now his bishops have freeway too. I could have been go for this pawn over here, but his knight is already defending. I can also bring out some knight over here, but for now I will just bring down out this pawn to let out my queen maybe, or just take that pawn and he will take it with his knight over there. And the next round I can go here, or not really because the knight is still standing there. Now he's coming here with his knight, but currently nothing dangerous. I will just come here to take the pawn. Also, if I bring out my pawn over here to defend the bishop, it would be a free way for my queen to take that knight, except the black bishop is standing there, so The black bishop is kind of my enemy when I'm playing black pieces. And now he brings out his black bishop. So I can choose his black bishop or his knight, but currently I'm gonna go for the knight over here because now he will take my bishop by a pawn. But now his black bishop is out too. So now he can go here with his knight. What I will get with my king is currently available to do that. I can go here with my white bishop, so I will bring out my pawn over here to defend the white bishop if I am bringing out. Now it's a little bit riskier, so I need to somehow defend my rook and my queen. So for now I will just come here with my pawn, and I can take his knight because he wasn't. I will lose my queen, so that's not a good deal. I almost lose my queen for nothing, but at least I saw what's going on, so I can get his knight for almost free for a pawn. So at least I saw what's coming up, and I could have been make it a little bit better. So that's cool now. And also here is something cooking. So I will let out my knight over here to get my rook over there to give him a check. And also I'm gonna get one of his pawns over here. Now he's sneaky because if I would move my knight over there, I would lose a rook, and that wouldn't be cool. And I made some stupid thing because I could have been go here with my white bishop, or not really, because if I go there with my white bishop, he can come here with his rook, and in the next round he could have been go here with the black bishop, and I would have been forced to move here. It wouldn't be really screwed. I just missed that opportunity. But now if I go here, so if I go here with my white bishop, he can come here with his pawn or go here with his white bishop. But if I go here with my white bishop, and if he comes here with his pawn, I can come here with my rook. Into next round he would take it with his rook, but I will get it with my white bishop into next round. He would get my white bishop with his king, but into next round I will get a queen, so I'm gonna try to do that. Because my pawn is almost evolved into a queen, so it would be cool to have a queen from a pawn. but I cannot really do it because he moved his king into somewhere else. And now I even need to counter 2 rooks to evolve my pawn into a queen. Now I will move my knight out here, so into next round I can move it here to put some pressure over the bishop and even give him a checkmate. Not checkmate, just a check. So he will be forced to move here. Yeah, but now I can evolve one of my pawns. Or not really, because he bring back his rook to do more damage. But at least I get rid of one of his rooks. It's true that I lost knight into progress, but now I'm gonna get rid of the white bishop over here. At least I'm gonna try to. Alright, good to see you back. I had a winning game while you was gone, but it was a 5 move game, so it was good for me to get some free elo points. And now I'm playing against Pasha Shamiran, and he's from Iran. And it feels like he's leading a little bit, but I'm close to start to give him checks and everything. Now if I want to evolve one of my pawns into a queen, but that was 2 rooks that was defending it. Now our rook and bishop is defending it. So I need to get rid of them to evolve my pawn into something useful. So now if I move my pawn over here, it can put some pressure over the bishop, but he can easily get my pawn. So for now I will just move my rook over there. So if I start to move forward with my pawn, I can make the pawn go away somewhere else. Now he moved with his white bishop to get one of my pawns. So now I can also give him a check now. So if I'm giving him a check, he will be forced to move here or here, here, here. If he's moving here, I can move here, giving him a check again, but he can roam around. So for now I will just try to save my pawn over here, and in the next round I will move here maybe with my knight. And if he moves here, I can move out my pawn over here to defend that knight over here. Into next round I can move here, or not really, because it's a good situation for me, because now I can move here with my knight, giving him a fork. He will move with his knight, but I will get his rook over there. Into next round he would get my knight with his bishop most likely, because he forgets that my pawn is standing there. And into next round I can evolve it into a queen, so that's cool. Yeah, now I can get his rook. And yes, I told before, he takes my knight with his bishop because he's a little bit greedy. And now I get a queen again, and I even put some pressure over his white bishop. So now I only need to work up a checkmate, because I don't really think so my opponent will work up a checkmate with bishops and a few pawns. And he didn't save the white bishop, he was just putting some pressure over my queen. Maybe he thought he can bait me with the pawn and the bishop, but luckily not, and it was a win game, so I'm almost back at the beginning of the stream. I'm in to Elo status. I'm at 531 Elo. I need to win one more game to back at the start point, so I'm gonna start a new game. I'm playing against the woman. He's 55. He's at 524 Elo point. He's from Australia, and I'm playing with the white pieces, so I'm gonna open up to don't take my words any further. And now I'm coming out to maybe take the frame pawn that's standing there, but I cannot because he's defending by a third pawn. And now I'm gonna coming out with my bishop over there. So put some pressure over this square, but he sacrificed one of his bishops because he most likely was in that mindset that he coming out here, the pawn will defend it, but he cannot move the pawn because it's currently pinged because of the queen. So I will thank him for the free bishop. So that's good that happened. Now most likely I lose my bishop too, because he came out with other pawns, so I was a little bit egoistic, or wasn't so humble. So that's because I will lose my bishop now. If I'm coming here, if he takes the bishop with the pawn, later on I can come here and take the pawn at least. But later on he can come out with a queen too. So anyways, I'm gonna do it. So at least I will get one more pawn for my bishop. So now I can give him another check if I'm coming here. And he cannot stop it. Most likely he will come back with his queen over here. Yeah, but now I can come here and get one of his rook. Or not really, because the knight came out. But at least I can ping this knight to stay here. If I'm coming here with my queen. And yeah, I no longer have a white bishop, so I cannot really work up something to go here. I even need to get rid of the queen over here. Into next round he can come here to put some pressure over my queen. But I can easily go away, but the knight will no longer be pinged. So now I will coming out with my knight over here, so into next round I can come here. Or now if I'm coming here with my knight, he can come here with his rook, but I will get with my knight, so that's cool. I can also come here with my knight. In response, he can come here with his queen, but the bishop is blocking the queen way now. But I wanted to say, if I'm coming here with my knight, I can give a check. He can get my knight by 2 knights, so I I don't say anything because I forgot there is another knight. So now if I'm coming here, I could have been give a check, and he could have been moved with his knight to king somewhere, or get two knights with his queen, but in response I would have been get his queen, but the bishop is sadly now securing that position. So I will coming out with two other knights and try to work up something. Now my queen is in a little bit danger because the knight is came out here. But now I get the knight with my knight, so my queen just standing there lonely right now. And it wouldn't be a great idea if I'm coming here with my knight, because in response he could come here with his knight. Or not really, because the knight is currently pinging because my queen is standing there, so I can come here, easily take the free pawn, and I don't need to worry about this knight over here, because the queen is pinging the king over there. But now he came out with his rook, and that's what my knight was here before, to block that to happen. Now I need to get in a position where I'm defending to knight and I don't lose any kind of pieces. So for now I will just come here. Into next round maybe he will come here with his pawn, so I will need to move my queen again. But for now I will just come here. Yeah, now I'm putting some pressure over his rook, but he saw that. So maybe I will start to work up with my two rooks and two bishop. Well, maybe I will bring out my... I wanted to move out my bishop over here because the bishop is currently pinged there, but now he moved out his rook and it's putting on me a little bit of pressure, but I can come here to give another check. Maybe he can come back with his bishop over there or with his rook, but now I can come here to take one of his pawns, and this pawn is no longer defended, so I can come here giving him a check again. He can block it with a rook or go in a doorway. Now I'm gonna give him another check by taking one of his pawns. And I forgot there is a rook, so now I don't have a queen, so I need to work up something else. So yeah, I was a little bit greedy to give him a check and take the pawns. Now I'm gonna move forward with this pawn to let out my black bishop, put some pressure over his black bishop to make some transactions, because if he takes my bishop I can take it with my rook. Or yeah, for now I will just go here to do that. And now my pawn will be gone most likely because he will move his queen there. I will do a castle. And that was unexpected from me, because I was just, okay, he moving back his queen. But suddenly that ended up as a checkmate against me. I thought I totally got him. I thought I'm leading this game, so it was a good reminder to be a little bit more humble and don't be fooled by the opponent. What kind of moves does he make? And don't give to the feeling that you are leading. And the point is be a little bit more humble, because I get owned by now by this rook and by this queen. So yep, I'm gonna start a new game and move on. I'm playing against second Polippo. He's from Italy. He's playing with the black pieces. I'm playing with the white pieces, and he's at 542 elo. And now I'm gonna coming out with my knight to be a little bit different than I'm usually are, because I always open up with my queen to coming out here, and so. Now my knight is in a little bit of danger. I will trade 2 knights over there. After that I need to get my queen there somehow. So for now I will just move that pawn. Hopefully he will go for that pawn with his pawn. In the next round I can go there with my queen. And in the next round I could have been moved here, but he started to build up the pawn, so that's not gonna happen. But I can still go here. After that I can go here, except if I sacrifice my queen again, like I'm usually doing it. So that wasn't really lovely. Maybe this will be my last game, because I start to make unpleasant moves like this, and I don't really think. Maybe I will need to take some sleep or something. I'm not sure. And I cannot no longer get to bishop with my bishop, because the knight will get it. So I'm just gonna go here with my pawn to secure that position again. If I castle, my rook will be there. His bishop is again in some kind of danger. Now he's opening up with his black bishop, but he didn't pay attention that his white bishop is undefended. Now into next round I can come here with my rook to take the pawn. Maybe, oh, not really, because the knight is securing that pawn, so I cannot really do that. And I can no longer give him a check because he castled. But I can move out a pawn over here to put some pressure over his black bishop. He can move here, he can move here, he can move here, he can move here. He can move into these 2 squares to save it. Now he's opening up with his rook over there, but yet nothing to worry about, and he's again didn't save his bishop. Luckily he's greedy like me, so maybe I can make back this match. Now my rook is in a little bit danger, maybe I can... or not. I thought he left knight undefended, but not really. I can make some knight transaction, or I mean, I can go here with my rook. He can come for my rook with his rook. In response, I would get it with my pawn, but that would mean that he can come here to give me a check, or not really, because the knight is defending the position there. So I will come here, and he can make a transaction for the rook if he wants to. For first, I wanted to move my rook over there, so the transaction would have been up to the queen. But after that, I recognized the knight is over there, so that would be a little bit of a problem. So now he moved with his knight over there. Now my knight need to move. If I just don't want to lose my knight, but I could have him move here, or I will lose a pawn over there. Or not really, because the bishop is defending there. With my knight, I'm defending these positions. If I'm going here, I'm gonna put some pressure over to knight here. He can go into these squares, but currently his only safe zone is this and this, but I can even defend that position by a pawn. Now he moved forward by one of his pawns. Now maybe I'm gonna move forward by, or not really, because I almost lose my knight for nothing. But now I can come here with my bishop to put some pressure over the knight. He was going for the transaction. I think this will be my last match, because I don't really talkative right now, and I don't really think through how do I make this match. Maybe I will wake up tomorrow sooner to make decent moves and not screw moves like this. And also I'm seeing myself on the stream, I will need to shave because I look like a little bit unhygienic because of that. Now the problem is even my black bishop is stuck over here. So for now I will just deal a little bit with the pawns here. And the next round I can move my pawn over here, and if into respond he gets it, I can get it with my bishop. But that's no longer a deal because he moved his queen. So now I'm just coming out with my bishop to get this pawn. But he gets the other pawn. Yeah, now I fucked it up because my rook will be gone. Yep. I'm gonna play one more game against her, I think, because the profile picture looks like a woman. So, because I don't really think so that game would have been so hard if I don't screw up my queen at the beginning, so like this, as usual. Oopsie daisy. Or I'm not really gonna play against her because I can feel I'm a little bit tired by now. But maybe I'm gonna win this game. Not sure, but I see the possibility. If I go there, guys, maybe I'm gonna win this one. So, okay. If I go here, I can give him a check, so he will be forced to move here or here. Well, anyways, I'm gonna just go here now. Okay. And that's a checkmate. Woo! I thought that was totally lost, but that was a comeback. That was a comeback. It was pretty sweaty, but luckily he didn't have time either, and I got some defense into the left corner. I didn't have a match yet like this that was so screwed, and slowly it's true that she made some mistakes, but in the end it was almost sure that will be end up as checkmate, but I get some good defenses, and after that I could have been work up good offenses. So it was cool to have this. So thank you very much if you guys were here or checking back to the stream. I'm minus 8 elo points from the starting point of the stream today, but I didn't go any more forwards. But at least today I had some good games too, like this one that was a good comeback, and some rapid game with viewers. So yeah, it was worth it to start the stream today. So thank you very much if you were here. I'm gonna take a sleep, try to wake up in normal time. So, and also I'm gonna shave because I don't like my little mustache. So have a good night, guys. I'm gonna go for now. Good night. Good night.